Very important session, which is on global and domestic production, supply and demand, um, trade flows, policy interventions, and various insights on procurement, storage, and processing. We'll have on the panel Mr. Sandeep Bansal. Can we have you on stage? Managing Director and Director, Grain Flour India Private Limited, and Shri Govardhan Roller Flour Mills Limited. Welcome, Sandeep ji. Mr. Sahil Sethi, Trader, Grains, LDC India. Sahil, can we have you here? Mr. Rahul Poddar, Head of Procurement, South Asia Region, Nestle. Mr. Ashish Bhatnagar, sir, Rahul sir, welcome. Mr. Ashish Bhatnagar, Director and Head of Procurement, Grupo Bimbo, India Region. And Dr. Sultan Singh, Chief Scientist and Director, HARSSC, CRIT, Government of Haryana, and Chief Geospatial Officer, GMDA, FMDA, SMDA. Mr. Sahil Sethi. We're just awaiting for our moderator. She's on the way. And we will have some interesting discussions from S&D perspective, FMCG, trade, wheat, and policies. And we have our moderator here, Ms. Manisha Gupta. Can we welcome you on the stage? Manisha Gupta, editor and anchor, CNBC Awaz, a face and a voice known to everybody. She is actually the Awaz of agri-commodities. Please welcome her on the stage. So Manisha, over to you, in your good hands.
Thank you so much for that, Garima, and my apologies for getting delayed. I know we've started talking about wheat since last evening therein.
We also have Mr. Karnesh Sharma joining us on the stage for this session. And yes, finally, over to you, Manisha.
Well, thank you for that. So there is... Okay, looks like we've finally settled. So yes, when it comes to wheat, we do understand that there's just plenty happening when it comes to wheat. One, we are kind of slightly isolated when it comes to the global markets because we don't import wheat, we don't export wheat. So while the international prices seem to be moving around $540 a bushel there, Indian prices have been slightly above the MSP therein. But we have a great panel here, and the kind of agenda that we have is that all of you have a presentation to make, and that is when we... No? No presentations? Okay, no presentations. All right. So there's plenty to talk, and you know, the couple of things that I would want to also add into this mix is that almost everybody, there are 2 or 3 buzzwords right now. One, of course, is the Viksit Bharat. So every sector really seems to be working on where their sector is going to be, and as part of Viksit Bharat 2047. So the 4 pillars that the Prime Minister has spoken about, one is youth, second is poor, third is women, and fourth is farmer. So that is what, as an inclusivity, is how every sector seems to be moving in sense of planning towards Viksit Bharat. So that is one question I'm coming to all of you with, on what is your sense on how wheat will really be in sense of Viksit Bharat there. The second point really is about the yields. We keep comparing on how most of the agriculture commodities that are grown in India have lower yields as compared to the international markets, while wheat isn't really so bad when you compare it to that. But what is it that the markets will be going or taking in from here? Is it going to be business as usual, or is this market also looking at more value addition, more technology? AI is another buzzword, and how technology is going to be woven into when it comes to agriculture and wheat specifically. So let's start with your initial comments on how are you looking at overall wheat as a market. Why don't we start with you? Tell us what you do and how are you looking at wheat as a market, the future of wheat, let's put it, by the time it's 2047. I'll come to details later on, but I'm just trying to get an overall perspective of what you think is wheat as a market growing to be.
All right. Thanks, Manisha. So I'm Rahul Pudar. I'm head of procurement for Nestle South Asia region. And for just a little background. So I've been always in wheat. I started my career with ITC, was part of eChopal, creating wheat sourcing network for ITC and supporting foods business division to launch the iconic Ashirwad brand. And then I've been with Nestle for 15 years, supporting procurement of grains for Nestle for the iconic Maggi, Cerelac, Kit Kat, and Munch kind of brands. So, I think I owe my career to wheat, and I think wheat is going to be a major commodity, a source of food for India, and its role in Viksit Bharat would be as important as that of any other fundamental commodity like milk, which is the largest protein source, and sugar and oil, right? Wheat continues to be a major protein source for Indian diaspora, which is majorly vegetarian. And even if we are non-vegetarian, our consumption of non-veg is not that high as when we compare to the Western or the Eastern, further Far East world. So dairy and wheat are major protein consumers. It's part of our traditional diet. And with the launch, with great companies like ITC, Nestle, Unilever, Britannia, and a lot of other new organizations which are launching more innovative product, giving more consumer options in form of ready to eat, the consumption of wheat in processed form is only going to increase. The modern day consumer is going to continue to buy more from homemade effort, putting their own effort in preparing their own food, to more convenience, right? Whether it is quick commerce led Horeca delivered at your doorstep, or it is packaged food, or it is eating out. So, and from a food processing point of view, the stability in the product which wheat provides and the fulfillment it provides is great. So from a nutritional perspective and from this. Lastly, one more reason why wheat will continue to have a great role to play in India is because of the huge Indo-Gangetic plains which we have, which grow a lot of wheat. And we are still far behind the yield levels which the world has achieved, right? So we can still look at more production from the same land. So this is one domestic source of food which also secures us from a food security point of view. So I feel government would always bank and be protecting wheat for next 20 years.
All right. Well, that exactly is the thing that we're looking at right now. So तीन चार चीजें जो इन्होंने कही वो एक ये of course कि हम बहुत आसानी से actually गेहूं से आटे पर आ गए. वो एक बहुत बड़ा change था यहाँ पर. All of us buy that packaged wheat, packaged atta that is. And as you said, yes, ready to eat. And the kind of security and sense of food that wheat provides to India, perhaps wheat will continue to be a very strong position even as we look at Viksit Bharat going forward. But food processing, of course, is strong. And as you said, value added in sense of that is also going to be very, very important.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Sultan Singh, Chief Scientist of Haryana Space Application Center. I'm basically the core scientific activity on account of the crops monitoring through satellites. So I can say space to citizen, and we are only state, each and every parcel of the land, right from sowing to harvesting, we are monitor each seed to seed, how come to on the your table. So that ecosystem we developed, on account of the governance. So last 7 years we are monitoring this. We have the daily satellite networking system, every day growth pattern of the your wheat crop, and we predict the yield before to harvesting almost 3 weeks or 4 a week, how much area cover under the particular crop. So I'm a basically is a complete third eye view of the entire your ecosystem. Not only wheat, we are other crops also, more than 10 crops we are monitoring. So let's we discuss in detail in second round. Thank you.
Mr. Singh, I also want to ask you, आपने बोला हम थर्ड आई हैं इस पूरे के पूरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, एंड एब्सोल्युटली, क्योंकि जहाँ से हम यहाँ पे आगे जाएंगे, जिस तरह का क्लाइमेट चेंज है, जीनोम एडिटिंग की बात हो रही है, एआई की बात हो रही है, सीड इज गोइंग टू बी एट द कोर ऑफ इट ऑल. अब यहाँ से आगे जाते हुए किस तरह का काम आप कर रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट वुड यू से इज एब्सोल्युटली नीडेड फ्रॉम हियर?
Yeah, basically in third eye context, there is no any human interventions. Exactly nature room is there. So that context, we know our exact demand of the particular area of the interest. So that is a very, very important fact. We know type of the soil, what type of the water, irrigation, ecosystem, environmentally, weather forecasting, all this is there. So we are the basically genetically wheat growing system is there. So next stage, we know demand and supply gap with the exact number. How much area in the acreage, particular in like our state or in total geographical area, 51% under the wheat crop, in particular Rabi crop. So that's the basic things. Many other way we in the governance back and the policy making, we are working on that way also. Thank you.
Mr. Singh, let me put you in a corner on this one. अगर हम इसी एरिया में इसी तरीके से, given the fact कि आगे जाके population increase होगी, शायद consumption भी increase होगी, of course we will take that point ahead सबके साथ कि आगे जाके demand supply किस तरह से रहने वाली है. लेकिन आपको क्या लगता है, क्या कुछ करने की ज़रूरत है to ensure that we feed all those mouths, that we are comfortable when it comes to buffer stock as well? क्या करना होगा इंडिया को, किस तरह की इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी होगी टू एंश्योर उस लैंड में, उस तरह के यील्ड में किस तरह का सीड, क्या काम करना होगा?
Basically, we know the fact, land we can't announce. Land is land. So whatever population is there, we feed from this existing land. So that we need to innovative way of the enhance the yield in existing soil structures, existing climatic conditions. That is a more important. So in coming time, it may be the 1 season to 2 seasons. So within that, climatic conditions might be changed. Right now, we are grooming only in a Rabi seasons. Maybe we modified way of that, a change of the some seed patterns in the different climatic resistance area. Then we can enhance our yield in on. I can see the modified way of the some productions, because we can't enhance the land. We can multi-story building can the build on the air, but we can't multi-story land can create it. So that is a upcoming challenge. And then India is so potential in itself is a consumer in terms of the populations. So we are the more responsible. Our industry is a more accountable in terms of the new innovative way of the adoptions.
तो यानी कि इट कांट बी बिजनेस एज यूजुअल, काफी कुछ यहाँ पर करना पड़ेगा अगर हमें 2047 के उन सब टारगेट्स को यहाँ पर अचीव करना है. बट ओवर टू यू.
Hi everyone, I am Ashish Bhatnagar and I head the procurement for Bimbo Bakeries India. We are known by our brands, which is Harvest Gold, Modern and Kitty, and we are into bakery segment. I would like to start this conversation and link India to the global markets, how they are moving. When you look at the global production of wheat, it is, since last 3 to 4 years, it was always lower than the consumption. We were hovering somewhere around 796, then 801. This year it is predicted 815. and production was always in the level of around 805, 806. This year, the production is predicted at 815. We will be consuming somewhere around 813. So there is some positivity, but still since last 3 to 4 years, the ending stocks is going down. And this is a clear indicator that the consumption of wheat is growing much faster and the consumption is going towards more of processed wheat. So the same trend is going to follow in India. The Indian consumers are going to the world, they are traveling everywhere. The travel has gone up significantly and that will lead to opening of more occasions of eating more processed foods and products which will be made out of processed foods. So that I think the consumption is going to go up. The chapati, which has around 96% of wheat, will, if we move to, let's say, any processed food which includes bakery products or other products, the consumption of it gives around 70% of flour. So that is a big gap. And as soon as we move from 96% to 70%, the consumption is going to go up significantly. Another thing on wheat specifically is wheat is one of the most hardiest crops and easier to grow. And with the amount of labor shortages we are facing all across India, there is no way the other crops are going to grow till the mechanization is developed in India. So wheat is bound to grow, and I agree that the land is not going to grow. But when you compare yield of US, India, Canada, we are almost two-thirds of where they are. So there is a lot of scope in the production.
Does it concern you from where we are and the kind of forecast that you're putting that production is not going to increase so much, but demand is?
So when you look at last 2-3 years in India, from 112 we are reaching 117. That is not a small increase. That is a significant increase, and
Are you saying that we're looking at 117 of a crop this time?
that is what the figure says, and we believe that all the machinery is there, putting their efforts to bring out a number. So we don't want to question that number, but that is how it is moving.
As you said, you're concerned. What is and what countries would really have to work on that, and how much time would that take? Or are you looking at a time period where there is a concern and there can be a shortage?
So globally, because of so many, I would say, wars going on, there is definitely an impact on the production. Black Sea has seen a drop in production in last 3 years. Similarly, if the other difficulties continues in other areas, the production will continue to be a challenge. This year, although the number is looking very controllable, but we don't know what is going to happen in next few years, and that is where I think that is a concern across. The wheat prices are at rock bottom around $191, as you said, but we have seen $400 also. That is all a game of demand and supply.
So we have a bit of a concern going forward, of course, but let's take in everybody's first comments and then we'll dwell deeper into this. Sandeep.
Namaskar all. Sandeep this side from Mathura. We have manufacturing units. We are grinding wheat to serve the corporates. So one or two things I would like to mention over here is when we talk about crop numbers, weather, and things like that, we forget to mention that sometimes the crop numbers are dependent on the price that farmer is getting from the market. The best example is during the COVID days, government offered double of the PDS.
Please note what he said. Crop numbers are dependent on prices. Prices are not dependent on crop numbers.
No, ma'am. I would say that crop number is dependent on the prices. The best example is 2020. During those days, the free ration was allotted in the double tune. That made the impact in a way that in MP, where the MSP was around 19 or something, the farmers was struggling to get 14 to 15 rupees per kg. So it was bound to happen that the attraction to grow the wheat was fading away. As a result of that, we lost the acreage. Then we lost some yield because of the heat wave factor. And there were some fertilizer issues were also there. So what I'm trying to establish is If a farmer is getting 15 or 16 or 17 rupees a kg, he will definitely discourage the wheat. Uh, Going same way, last year wheat traded at around 32 levels, and we have seen a record-breaking crops this year. As a result of that, government would be closing this year anything around 2022. Last year it was 11.5. So we need to acknowledge the fact that, first of all, seed is good, weather is perfect, but how much returns a farmer is getting. We all are businessmen over here, and we prefer the things from where we can generate more profits. So same way, government should work in a way that there should be a price stability to offer for the farmer to result in the better crops.
Sandeep, in last so many years, we've seen wheat as a crop continue to give us very strong numbers, especially with the push with the government as well. How long have you been in wheat, and what has been your sense? Has it been a profitable business for you?
Definitely, yes, ma'am. I'm third generation into this business, and me at the age of 43, I have personal experience of 20 years. But when I was 10 or 12, being a typical Bania family, I was into these conversations with my uncles and my fathers कि बेटा वैसा है, मैदा ऐसा करता है, product ऐसे behave कर रहा है. So I have been into those conversations since my childhood. So what I would say is, whether we look at global scenario or the domestic scenario, there is nothing to worry about the wheat. In Indian market, we can easily say that 25 is a benchmark wherein farmer prefers growing wheat. Globally, we are seeing that exceptions are always there, Ukraine war and all. At that time, wheat traded at around 300, 350 or up to the mark of 400. But generally, we are seeing that $200 to $250 is a very comfortable range. And I don't see anything in neither in domestic market or the global market wherein we can feel a threat about the wheat supply or anything of that sort.
Sandeep, you are third generation into the business, और जैसे आपने कहा, it's been a profitable business as well. From where we stand right now, आप लोगों को बोलेंगे आओ wheat का business join करो, बहुत सही है, पैसा बनता है?
Definitely, yes, ma'am. In fact, I would just like to say that in India, we have, it's just a beginning. Because there was a time when we talk about दो वक्त की रोटी. And now we are talking about ये बेकरी यहाँ खुल गया है, वहाँ वो उसका पिज़्ज़ा बहुत अच्छा है. Gone are the days के जब मैं 20 रुपए का ढाबे पे रोटी खाता, आज मैं 700 या 1000 रुपए का पिज़्ज़ा या 500 रुपए का पेस्ट्री I would prefer. So it's a safest business, I would say. Definitely, if someone is not adapting to the changes, he is in danger. But for the beginners who are technically sound and who are looking for a future, sky is the limit in our industry. We are just at the beginning.
Okay. Good business to be in? All right, we all
Thank you
agree
for
then.
that.
Your initial comments.
First of all, a very good morning to everyone seated here. My name is Sahil Sethi, and I have come from Louis Dreyfus Company. I'm a grains trader, and I'm relatively far less experienced than everyone seated here. But I'd like to give my thoughts on what's happening with the wheat market in terms of trade. If we talk about the international market, we are far out of the picture. The import story is dead. We weathered the storm in 2023 and 24 when our stock levels came down to 8 million tons and then 7.5 million tons. Talking about the domestic market, in terms of innovation, I think right from the seed to the plate, there's a lot of innovation going on. In terms of seed, the Punjab Agriculture University, they had their presentation as well yesterday. They're doing a lot of work in, developing these varieties which are heat resistant or, which are able to survive any sort of weather. In terms of the product, a lot of companies have come up, a lot of startups. When you go to, you go to Instamart or you go to Blinkit, every day there's a new product which come out, which has a constituent of wheat. So there's a lot of innovation going on, but at the same time, we are lagging behind on some fronts. Firstly, I think Sir mentioned that, we don't have data. We don't know what is our consumption. Everyone has their own production numbers, and that sort of hinders all the stakeholders of the market. Today, if a miller knows what sort of production is there, what sort of consumption is there, they'll be able to take a better decision.